Welcome to Toffee TV. It is the final word. Everton 1, West Brom 1. Maybe the worst. Is it the worst performance of the season, or are we just projecting?
It's been a lot.
It's hard to.
What I'd say was it's as equally as bad as any other performance we put in this season. Is it worse?
I don't think it was worse. I just think it might have been one of the most disappointing results of the season.
I think, to be honest, mate, it's just crap. That's the way.
I know. I think that it's just because everyone envisaged that was going to be the game, that we got off this bad run and we started looking up, and I think the fact that we played so badly against a team who've been very poor, who are very poor, I think
I kind of look at it as they were the last team that we didn't lose to.
Yeah.
Before the weekend.
Yeah.
And like so that like
bookended it really.
Yeah. That was that horrible little period,
yeah.
And now we're gonna somehow
I like
Leicester
that
and start again.
I like
the
that
only way
thinking. That's positive thinking.
The only way I can think.
I like that.
The only way.
Shit. No, I just think it was one of those games where, as I say, a lot of people turned up with high expectations because of the new signings, and to just see a team look so disjointed, I think that just set so many alarm bells off for so many people, that we're back in that territory we were in after the Southampton game, where there's a genuine fear that we are not too good to go down. We are definitely not too good to go down.
No.
And you look around and you see other teams and they're changing managers and they're getting a kick up the arse. They're formulating their own little plans how to get out of it, and it feels like we had our plan, and for some reason we threw it away, and we decided actually we don't need that plan anymore because we're all right. And I scratch my head with the whole thing. I'm scratching my head with the whole thing, trying to understand
at the moment, yeah.
Trying to understand how we've gone round in a big circle, really.
I think when he come in, you got that bounce, didn't you? You know, the new manager bounce, which a lot of teams get. But ironically, he hasn't had in his other job.
No.
And we got on a good little run, you know, and I don't think anyone can say we were playing negative football, because I don't think we were up until the Chelsea game. I think, okay, we went up to Newcastle and didn't play great, but we still had 9 or 10 attempts and won the game, you know, and could have had more. Really, Ashley Williams should have really made it 2-0. I know they hit the post twice and we got out of it a little bit, but we won that game, and we came home to Swansea and we battered Swansea at home, even despite going a goal behind. You know, like I said to you before off camera, when I walked out to Goodison that day, I didn't think that'll be the last time I've seen us win till, you know, it's gonna be what, near the end of January.
Well, we had a confidence about us, didn't we, at least? You know, we picked up a few results. We were rigid. We started looking like, he said himself, has sorted out the back. Now I'm gonna, and it almost seems like since that day, it's just those words have become like something to hang on with, because
we've played some. I can't level it Saturday, but within this run, we've obviously had Chelsea, Liverpool, Manchester United, Tottenham. So they were always gonna. I mean, those fixtures. Well, Liverpool, they were the kind of fixtures that knackered us early on in the season, anyway. And it put a halt to our. I mean, our unbeaten run went with an 89th minute deflected goal at Bournemouth. You know, which kind of then made it's compounded everything else, because now, whether we like it or not, if we'd have gone at Bournemouth and drew 1-1, we'd be extra points on the thing, and who knows what would have then happened against United. You don't know, but we've gone into it. I think it's just the collective. I think even I was disappointed with our fans at the weekend, and I know there's many reasons for it and all that, but I think what we all have to do is realise that we're in it. We're not out of it. If we had 37 points, 38 points now, I could understand everyone being bored, because I was bored off my tits. I was not feeling great, got off the couch and went, it was freezing. So I have to watch that, but I think when I think back to the West Ham game, the fans got there and they had no right to be singing the way we were that night because we were terrible, but they helped the players and the players responded with a great performance, and I think we need to maybe get that back for the Leicester game. I think because let's be honest, they need our help at the moment. That bad. They need our help.
There is a real. I mean, I think we're in it now, and we're back in it, and the only way we're going to get out of it is picking up a couple of positive results. 4 wins. I'd look at it now as 3 wins and 3 draws. I've literally been working out in my head all the connotations and just it's just burns your head out, and I'm like, we could still lose half of our games and still be alright and blah blah blah, and it's horrible. It's a horrible mindset to be in, that we should not, because you talk about the West Brom and the Bournemouth game, we were talking that we'd go and get 4 points out of this, we'll be on 30 points turn of the year, we're still only on 28 points and we're coming to the end of January. And
that's what can happen though, can't it? But like I said to you before, we sat here on the Monday after Southampton and we were shell-shocked. We were looking going, we are in dire straits here. You know, couldn't see. I remember saying to you, I could quite easily see us winning beating West Ham and Huddersfield.
Yeah.
But the other side of that is, imagine if we don't. And luckily we did win those games, and we went on a 8 or 9 unbeaten run, whatever it was, and that came from literally nowhere. No one, you couldn't have said to me on that Monday when we come in here, we're going to now not lose for 8 or 9 games. We both looked at each other and gone, we got Liverpool and everyone in there, Chelsea in that.
You say it came from nowhere though, but it came from a point in Sam Allardyce.
No, but it still comes.
Do you think though, do you think that initial bounce may have put not only the team and the fans in a false sense of security, but maybe the manager and the coaching team, to think that, because he came in and he went, I can't believe I haven't had to do anything, look at them, they're great, we've just organised them. And now 2 months on, you're looking at going, well, we've gone back to square one, and he's talking about confidence and saying the confidence levels are terrible and all that, but I would have thought that if you're coaching people every day and you can see what the problems are, then you give people confidence by just doing the same things and saying it over and over and over.
You do, but in a game situation, they've rolled from last minute defeat at Bournemouth into Manchester United, into losing a late FA Cup tie at Anfield, into getting absolutely destroyed at Tottenham. Very quickly your confidence can zap away, so you're back in the midst of that. Losing is the natural thing. When we went on that run, we beat West Ham with a clean sheet, you know, goalkeeper saves a penalty, Pickford with a great save. We beat Huddersfield with a clean sheet. We go up to Newcastle, clean sheet. We then went to Anfield we went to Liverpool, then we went to Newcastle. So we went to Anfield and only let one. We were all thinking, if we get out with 2-0, it's not that bad, because they were flying. We only let 1 goal in. We go to Newcastle, clean sheet. All of a sudden teams were like, these are actually hard to score against, and you had confidence in that back line. Now that's gone, and that slipped, and for me that slipped because he's asked about with the team, particularly the centre backs and the back four. Now if you want to get Michael Keane back, he's talking about Michael Keane, wants him back in the team, put him back in the team and leave him there, and just say you're playing with Ashley Williams or you're playing with Mason Holgate or whatever, but stop trying to change. He's put Williams and Holgate back in at the weekend. Holgate stunk the place out, you know. Adam, absolutely one of the worst games I've seen.
Yeah, he was poor, very poor,
terrible. Rondon bullied them all day. What do you do? The temptation is to go, right, get him off the side, he was dreadful. Or do you go, no, because he's actually done alright over a period of time. I mean, other people will look back and pick holes in them and go, Harry Kane's second goal at Wembley, he just lets him run, he doesn't even bother going with him. Took a chance there, you know. That goal against United, I think Jesse Lingard went past him like he wasn't even there. So you could pick holes in him and go, right, get him out then and give him a rest. Now he's a young lad, he's played a lot of games. Put Keane in. You know, Keane is supposedly the future, that's what he's bought for. You play him, he's not playing well, is he? So the problems are there for everybody to see, but I think personally that these problems started when he started messing with the team.
I agree. I think the West Brom game away he took all the momentum out of the team by playing 5 at the back.
Yeah.
And I think maybe he thought, I'll go to West Brom, get a point, and I'll go to Bournemouth and beat them, and we'll be fine. But I think it took all the momentum out. Yeah. Because before that, we had a settled back 4, and if we did change the back 4, we swapped the pairings. It was Keane and Jags. Williams and Holgate went out. Now I know because of injuries that's been affected, and I'm sure he's had to because of people. But we bemoan that under Koeman, the changing the centre backs all the time. So that's been a problem. I think the Rooney thing's been a problem. I think swapping and changing Rooney's position. He came in the night he came in and he said, "Oh, well, we're going to leave after that performance. We'll leave him in centre midfield." We'll leave him in centre midfield against the teams like West Brom, where you're dying for that creativity. You know, who's the best player in the park for you on Saturday? Gareth Barry, right? So Gareth Barry's the best player in the park, right? Rooney could do that job for us. In fact, that's what Rooney's job should be. He should be the fetcher and the carrier. He should take the ball off the back 4. A back 4 on Saturday that in possession were absolutely dire, and every time they give the ball to Sneijderlin, he just fucking boots it away. So you want Rooney in that position to come back, take the ball, have someone next to him who's busy like Garner, like he did against West. He got at against West Ham, playing in that position. He did it against Newcastle. Did the same thing, arriving in the box late, got the goal. You know, I know his position's been slightly altered, but why go away from that? Yes, against the tougher teams, you knuckle down, you play a more solid midfield. But you're not telling me that, you know, if he starts the game against Bournemouth in that position, of course he'd been unwell that week, but if he comes back against Bournemouth and plays in that role, you've got in there, you had Sigurdsson ahead of him, you had, you know, Aaron Lennon playing on the right, so we swap him over. We've now got Walcott in the team. You know, they're the fundamentals of what at the beginning helped this team jump up the league.
Well, what was weird about, I mean, I don't know why Garner didn't play. I don't know whether he's still feeling the effects of an injury, or he just felt he didn't perform at Wembley against Spurs last week and he wanted to change that. But Rooney should have been in that side. Now, if you're going for one midfield player who's a general, like, you know, who knows the midfield role, then why didn't McCarthy just play? Why wasn't it McCarthy and Rooney? If Garner wasn't fit, why wasn't it McCarthy, Rooney and Sigurdsson? Do you know what I mean? And then go more attack, because it's even the thing, like your front 3, you know, the 3, Vlasic, the kid, he come on at Newcastle, done alright for half an hour, wasn't in the 18 for a while, started at Bournemouth, was it, or Manchester United at home, started against United.
He started at Bournemouth.
No, he wasn't in at Bournemouth, it was Man U. Started against United at home, so got taken off and he put Lennon on, not in the 18, Liverpool, not in the 18 for Spurs, and starts against West Brom from now. I like Nikola Vlasic, I've got no issue with him.
Yeah.
Can he play off the left hand side? Probably, if you'd had the left back who bombed on. Yeah. Because it'd be a bit like Pienaar, it'd be a bit like Sigurdsson can play there. Don't let anyone say he can't. He can't play there when you've got Martina behind him, because every time he's looking for the reverse pass the way Pienaar did. This fella doesn't want to go.
But even if he's not looking for the reverse pass, the defender's looking for the reverse pass, and it opens up that space. See,
people don't.
I do not want to go back to this again, but we will, because how can you play football if you don't have a left back, right? That will go forward. And I said this on my video after the match, right? This is not a Martina thing. This is an Everton thing. You cannot play, right? Just for that instance, right? So you've got a left back. Number one doesn't want to go over the halfway line, right? So Saturday we had 2 full-backs who didn't want to go over the halfway line. So I don't know whether that's instructions, where the manager said
whatever.
The manager said, listen, you've got Walcott.
We'll come on to him in a minute, Kenny.
Well, he was terrible.
Stick with Martina.
But what I'm saying, so you got full-backs who won't go over the halfway line, right? So you've got on the left-hand side, you've got a full-back who won't go over the halfway line. So if you've got someone like Vlasic, or you've got, or whoever that is, we haven't got a left-footed midfielder. No. So it has to be a right-footer. So every time, whether it be Vlasic, Sigurdsson, Balassi, they have to come inside. So if I'm a defender, I'm like, you're not coming inside. Or if you come inside, we'll just like show you back round. You know, keep going round. What that also does is that allows the back four, the full back, to just come in and be like that. They're close to each other. Don't have to worry about all that space out there. No one's going there. So all those gaps, well, we shut those gaps down. No, we don't have to worry about that. You're not stretching us. So we close the gap so no midfielder can run through them and no one can slide a pass in. And it's just dead easy. That makes it dead hard for us to get round them, but we can't get round them because we can't go through them. So where'd you go? Whereas at least if you've got someone, even if Martina didn't ever get the ball, if he would run past Vlasic every time or Sigurdsson every time, that fullback's got a problem then. Where do I go? Do I go with Martino or do I stick with my man? Well, what does that do? That drags the centre back out, or that drags the midfielder over. You suddenly pulling players. Or you'd have a gap. You suddenly pulling players out of position. That opens up the space for clever players to run into. That doesn't happen with us.
You shouldn't have a team that a whole side is redundant, because football teams look and work on minute details every game. If a team they come to Goodison at the weekend and they pushed on us because they knew they didn't have to worry about our left side. They didn't have to worry about it. It was never going to cause them an issue.
Yeah.
I felt sorry for Young Tosin.
Yeah.
We stuck. This should have been the game where we created 10 chances for him. We just shoved them up. Walcott was trying to get involved as much as he can, but he was coming deeper. See, this is what people don't understand with this 4-3-3. They go, oh no, it's great. It's boss, all the top teams play 4-3-3. Go and watch the top teams. Watch how they play 4-3-3. Right? Because they play 4-3-3. So they're three front men. I'll break it down because obviously some people don't understand it. They play 4-3-3. So they play three forwards on the back four all the time. So the pitch is stretched. Watch the way Everton try to play 4-3-3. It's 4-5-1.
I watched. Well, I didn't watch it all. I watched a little bit of Barcelona last night, right? Yeah. Now they're the best.
They're the best.
So they're the best. We're not comparing Everton with Barcelona. Don't be silly. 2 years ago we did that.
That was three. It was three. Come on.
But I watched them last night. They're the best, and I don't even think they're playing three at the front at the moment. I think they're just playing two.
Yeah.
But anyway, 0-0 at half time. Do you know what the final score was?
5-0.
5-0. They won the game. So 4 of their goals.
Thinking Bayern Munich. Where the blend?
4 of their goals.
Yeah.
Do you know what 4 of their goals came from?
No, go on, tell me. Enlighten me.
The opposition trying to play out from the back, right? The high press.
Yeah.
4 of the 5 goals came from Barcelona's high press, winning the ball in their half of the opposition's half, nicking it, giving it to Messi or getting it wide into the box, bang, goal. Every goal. That's how you play. That's how you play 4-3-3. Your 3 midfielders have to be pressed so high up that they're winning the ball back. So your 3 up front are getting the ball, bang.
But if you,
that's how Liverpool do it. That's how Liverpool do it as well.
Watch Liverpool tonight. Watch the way Man City play. Their 3 are on your back 4 virtually all the time. Watch Everton on Saturday. If that's what it was, if it was 4-3-3 allegedly, or 4-2-3-1, how people like to say it, then that's bollocks, because it isn't. It's 4-5-1, and it always is. No matter what Martinez, Koeman, Unzi play 4-4-2, and Allardyce. Tosin was on his own. He was 40 yards ahead of the play
with a fella who was what, 8 foot taller than him.
The 3 of them, the back, they were massive. They were just massive. Walcott's it was standing almost on Kenny's toes. Blassie came on in the second half, just held Martina's hand. Now what you say is, if that's how you want to play, say to Walcott, go and play on Kieran Gibbs, go and stand and push Kieran Gibbs so he's in a line with their centre backs. Vlasic, go and push Dawson, who's a centre back, in line with it. If he leaves you, go and stand in line with the centre half. They're not going to leave you for long, because they're going to go, oh, fuck no, I've got to come back. We don't. We allowed them to push us back up the pitch. So when we get the ball to Tosin, and he showed some lovely touches at times, pulled it down, was looking for runners, our midfielder's still 30 yards behind.
Oh, the amount of times, Baz, the amount of times that that they had the ball in their back four, and our team, Tosin was on his own, and the nearest player to him was James McCarthy. James McCarthy was playing in this, like, for the first half, was playing like this advanced role, almost in line with Sigurdsson, and then the other fella behind him, and it was ridiculous. It was just like, but they were Sigurdsson and McCarthy were at least 20 yards behind Tosin, and they got the ball. And what are you saying to the opposition? Come out, just come out, just pass it around. Just come out, just pass it around them. Man. If you're 10 yards further up the pitch,
and
this is a problem we've had for 2 years. And it comes from bad recruitment of not buying a centre back with pace, and two centre backs with pace that say we're not worried about the ball over the top, or a full back with pace, and you say we're not worried about the ball over the top. We'll deal with that. We'll deal with that all day. You try and look at Spurs last week. Look how high their back four was, because they weren't asked. They've got a keeper that will come up fucking halfway in his own half. You've got full backs who'll deal with it. You've got, when they play 3 centre backs, they're like, nah, we'll sort that out. That's not an issue. That's so much confidence. Our team is just, we're living in our own half, and yet we're playing 3 up front. Nah, sorry, it doesn't work.
It's when you watch us going forward. Well, when we try to go forward, this is why things break down. We're running. Kenny's biggest attribute was he was an attacking fullback, like Coleman, only he was a better crosser of the ball. We've now got a lad in the box who's good in the air. He didn't put one cross in, John Joe Kenny, the weekend, because he never went past.
But I don't know, but the way our fullbacks played on Saturday suggests to me that they've been told not to go forward.
Well, Martina doesn't do it anyway because he doesn't want to use his left foot. He always stops.
Let me just throw a caveat into that before we talk about this. I did feel sorry. I mean, the problem with Walcott, with Kenny Saturday, and Tosin to that extent was Walcott. You could tell. You could tell in the first half. I've never played footy with any use. I haven't got a clue. Like you said before, the amount of times Walcott was standing in Kenny's almost running space was obvious that. And second half that got a little bit better, and Walcott got better because of it. So you could see that there was no relationship, and why would there be? And you could see that early on with Kenny and everybody. Because we said ourselves, we've watched Kenny, we've seen him last season. Defensively, I'm not even going to say I'm not going to big him up and say, oh, we think he's a brilliant right back. We thought he was a good attacking right back. That's why we liked him, and that's what we want to see. We like our in the last 10 years, we've witnessed. Let's be honest, we had the best 2 fullbacks. We were the blueprint for Spurs, for Man City, for Real Madrid, a lot. But we had 2 the best, and we did it really well, and we like that. We like that style. And we looked at Kenny and went, there's a player who can do that. And early on you could see signs of it, but things weren't clicking. And when you watch the Sunderland game and you're seeing that he was playing on the same side as lads he played with in the under-23s like Davies, and they knew what he was good at, and you could see it. And Saturday, I thought first half Kenny wanted to go round Walcott, but Walcott wasn't getting in that position, and that's fine, I can understand that. But second half, it looked like, to me, like Kenny had just been told, don't go forward. And if that's what he is being told, then it's been wasted. I'm not saying he had a good game, he was shite. He really was shite. He went back to, pre Allardyce days where he couldn't even pass it, never mind run. But so I just wanted to throw that in, because I did think that was just one of those things. But fullbacks, I don't know, it annoys me so much. They're such a big part of football.
I think the makeup of our team is all wrong. It's totally wrong, and it's born out of the left-hand side, I'm afraid. And people can like it or not. Not a personal thing on Martina.
No, it's not.
Because if Martina was left-footed and could go down and throw crosses in, this probably wouldn't be an issue. But you're asking somebody to do a job that's alien to them. He threw one cross in the the second half with his left foot. Wasn't actually a bad cross. The only time he done it, and he done it because he had to do it, because there was nowhere for him to go and he was running out of space. But if he'd done that from the first whistle and just tried to stand it up with his left foot, I wouldn't have a go at him. I'd just go, you know what? But we have been treated to having, for me, the best left back in Europe at one time, with that attacking left back, the left foot, There's now Baines' his left foot. Still now, people go, he's crap though, he's on the decline. You put him back in now, you'd go, Jesus Christ, we missed this kid with that left foot, because it opens the pitch up. We've got a team that forget all the teams who'll come and swarm all over you like Spurs and Man City and what Liverpool will try and do. But when you're playing a team that has come to sit and to try and hit you on, and to be fair to West Brom, they played really well and they had 2 men up front, so got to take my hat off to them for coming and having a real good go.
Whoa, hang on. Can't play 2 up front?
Well, yeah, apparently you can't, some people. But they come and sit, so for all, like you just said there, for all of those reasons, all of a sudden, the job's made 15% easier before a ball's being kicked, because they look and go, this fella doesn't want to run down, he doesn't get past anyone, he won't use his left foot, the players don't really use him, so that side's cut off. So you just worry about Vlasic if you have to, but your right midfield, right side midfield can worry about him. Matty Phillips worried about him, he's physically stronger than him anyway. So they're all
massive. Like he'd been on the phone.
Well, he looked like he'd fucking the arse, like Nicki Minaj arse, Matty Phillips. But they had that little bit of strength. So once the strength things matched up, if you haven't got someone who's running down who can use the left foot, that's out the window. So all of a sudden the pitch is turns, so the pitch is cut off, like a big triangle, big cheese wedge of that pitch is gone. And so they were so compact then. And then we had Walcott on top of Kenny, toast and isolated. And then we had a fella running in sinking sand in the middle of the park for us on the ball. Everything's like Mr. Slow, touch is terrible, turns like the fucking Titanic, tries to and it just goes there. And McCarthy, you know, James McCarthy, great at running and pressing, and the day ended terrifically for him and all of that. But I can't still dress up the fact that he only wants to pass the ball sideways. And this is the thing, you see, Schneiderlin, and I know we'll come on to him in a minute, but he was better last year because he had Ross Barkley to take the ball off him. Whether people like that or not, Ross Barkley was an integral part of our team. Got the ball, turned and took it, and he took it 40 yards up front, and people made runs, or people stood still, like McCarthy. But people run, and Ron would get a goal, or Ross would have, or whatever, but he'd take us up the pitch, and a lot of the time he'd lose, but he grabbed us up the pitch. So all Schneiderlin had to do was win it and go, yeah. And then occasionally that diagonal, and the diagonal used to come off because Baines used to run down, so he'd be able to switch it either way. But at the moment he can't switch it left because there's no left, so everything's right, and Kenny wasn't running. So all of a sudden this lad you've got in the midfield who only won half of his tackles, which is pathetic for a defensive midfield play. McCarthy won 100% of his, he won 50% of his passing range was 52% or 60%, whatever, 60% when you're rolling a ball 3 yards is horrendous. So that slowness in the middle of that park can't get you up the pitch, and you can't pop it off and get it back and knock it in again, because everything's sideways. So when you're going sideways, that team can just get their shit. So they sit, they protect, and all of a sudden you see what you're seeing, which is us getting it. How many times did we have it in the final third and it go back, and it go back, and it go across the centre backs, and then it come back, and it come, and it wasn't in back cross, it was back, or they broke it up. Especially in the first half, we give them a goal, and then they done that, and that the game plan went out the window. Totally, if there was a game plan.
I don't know what the game plan is. I can't see it. I think that's one of the biggest problems, is that there's no identity to this team. It's a fucking patchwork quilt of different
Look at the goal.
eras.
Look at the goal. Right, it was a lovely goal from their perspective. The ball at the outside of the foot was superb. Holgate's got his arm up. Instead of looking where Jay Rodriguez is, as a centre-back, he's your man. It's dead easy for them two on Saturday. Rondon was playing and Rodriguez was playing. So me and you were centre-backs, you pick one, I'll pick the other. I don't need to worry about, because if you let your man go, that's you. This is my man here. And Holgate's like that. And the next minute he goes, shit, kind of get caught out. His arm's up and the lad's in. You know, Martina runs. What's Martina? He runs and then puts the brakes on. And I'm not saying he could have got there, because he's, for me, a more experienced fullback would have come round and swept anyway. But I'm not blaming him. I kind of blame it's Holgate, and then I think Jordan Pickford, because Rodriguez' touch is poor and it's out of his feet. And I think if Pickford goes, he's on top of him, he thinks it over him, you'd go, it's a good goal, to be fair. I mean, Rodriguez, I think Pickford gets a hand, it's like a bobbly finish, isn't it, in the end? But the goal was so basic, and we'd had the warning a couple of minutes before.
But the gap between Holgate and Martinez is too big there.
Yeah.
For a fullback who doesn't go forward.
Yeah.
You know, it's inexperience on inexperience. But that to me is worrying though, because that's basic defending, and the manager's been in for like 2 months.
Yeah.
They're things that should have been sorted out. You know, you've got 2 holding midfielders, yet the lad's been able to knock...
Well, that's the bigger thing for me.
The lad's been able to knock a ball with the outside of his foot.
Chuck it down. I mean, Rondon does brilliantly, pulls it down on his chest, flicks it over people's heads. Williams comes out to try him because he's marking him, obviously, and he squeezes it past him, but the pass is beautiful, but why is he on his own?
Yeah.
When we've got midfield, why is he just can go, oh, you know what? And it's a great ball, and it was a finish, you know, by Rodriguez, and you're like, that was the last thing we needed, was to go behind.
Scoring early.
And you look and go, and I looked at the reactions of the players, and it was like,
there's nothing.
Like 7 minutes, it was like, thought I we're behind now. But there was no response to going behind. Do you know what I mean? It wasn't like, alright lad, because you can listen, players will make mistakes, top teams make mistakes, you'll concede goals that you'd look back and go, you know, Sam Allardyce and Sammy Lee, and they might have worked on that line all week, and then Holgate's just gone to sleep for a sec. You can't blame them for that, but it's how you respond for me. And we responded by, it was what, 39 minutes before we had the shot.
Minutes. John Joe Kenny.
And he only hit that because no one gave him any frigging options. I mean, Walcott had put a superb ball in, and Tosin should have really gambled. He told him, you know, get in, it was a great ball. Bent right across. But other than that, the shot by Kenny, we had nothing. And this is a team who was second to bottom at the start of play. You 39 minutes before you have.
I mean, one of the big, I'd say, problems was the fact that it was Walcott's first game and Tosin's.
Yeah, of course.
Because I thought at times Tosin was coming too far over, and actually, where you're saying about Walcott taking Kenny's space, then Tosin was taking Walcott's space, and that relationships will come. And in the second half, you've got Balassi, Walcott, and Tosin. So that's a whole sort of new front three in times. And I think that didn't help. But you know, the first shot on target, and just listening to the crowd's reaction, with the ironic cheers and stuff, it's just good, it's you're playing West Brom and you're not showing any attacking intent, and that's.
Who do you blame? Do you blame the man? A lot of people. I've
got to put some blame on the manager. You've got to pass. He's been here for 2 months and he's setting out teams like that. Sat here every week going, Sam, I don't mind this. I don't mind grinding out results.
Yeah.
I don't mind us being hard to break down, because that's what'll happen. For me, when it started, it was we're not gonna concede, and hopefully, fingers crossed, the creativity we've got on the side is going to nick us wins, or a point here and there. And it worked. And he's just thrown it all out the window. That to me is the problem. I've got no problem with negativity, or playing negative, or doing this or doing that. But stick to your guns. Stop messing around with your back four. Play Rooney in the midfield. That's my problem. My problem is that what was successful in the first few weeks has now been binned, and it's like everyone's scratching their head going, oh, what's happened? It's like, that's what's happened. You fucked about with because you thought it was all going to be alright, and that to me is the big problem. Go back to that. Go back to being cunts. Go back to being, we're not going to concede goals first and foremost. He said it last week, oh, we're going to be more boring,
and there was a meltdown because of it.
But if you go to Tottenham, right, and you're playing them, do that. Yeah, be cunts. Yeah, do what you did at Anfield. Yeah. Stay in the game, and try and nick something. That's what we did at Newcastle. Stay in the game, and then when you go and play West Brom, this was my big problem on Boxing Day. Why the fuck would you go to West Brom and set up with 5 at the back? You're playing against the team.
But what are you saying? Be negative against the bigger side, the top sides.
Yes.
All right. Well,
So you're playing them at home. You're playing them at home, right? Where you're desperate for 3 points, and you set up with 2 holding midfielders. One of them who's absolutely garbage and has been garbage all year. Be positive. Start with Rooney. Yeah. Be on the front foot.
Well, Rooney was in the team I picked before on the starting 11. Rooney was in the midfield.
If you start the game with Rooney, right, and he doesn't have a good game, but at least you're being positive there. At least you're being positive.
See, the thing with Wayne Rooney is the people who criticise him are generally the people who don't like him, and that's fine. You know, you don't have to like him with it, but you cannot deny he's one of our better players.
Or if you're not going to play Wayne Rooney, you're going to play Sneijder and McCarthy or Sneijder and Garner or whatever. Your full-backs have got to be going forward.
Yeah, they're not going to, are they?
But you've got to say to them, you listen. You start. You say, you start Luke Garbutt, and you say, right, whatever. Get in the final third and put some crosses over, because that's what you're good at doing. We know you've got a wand of a left foot. If he's not a good left back, then you've got to start saying to McCarthy or whoever. You start with McCarthy and Garner, and you say, you two are looking after the full back positions when they go forward. That for me is what you've got to start doing.
But that's what I'm saying about the makeup of the team.
Yeah,
the makeup of the team is all wrong, and that's the problem. Is that people will go on about, you know, it's not Martinez's fault, or it's not Schneiderlin's fault, or it's not this fault, or whatever, and that's fine. Everyone's got their opinion, but there's ways to get the best. I still believe there's a lot of good footballers in Everton's squad. I do. People will go, the squad's shite, and I'll call the players, but I'm calling them for their attitude or their mentality, not for their ability. There's a lot of good players in that Everton squad. There is. Yeah, they're good footballers. A lot of clubs would take a lot of our players. They would, maybe not the top 6, but I bet you that most of the rest would, because there's some good, really good footballers in there. But it doesn't matter how good you are if you can't perform as a team. And the best way for Allardyce or the best way for any manager, is to find a system that suits and work the players. Morgan Schneiderlin, for argument's sake, is so goddamn slow at the moment. Now, I don't know whether he didn't appear this slow last season, but maybe he was, and maybe we just, with Lukaku and with Barkley and with having a fit Baines and with us attacking a bit more, maybe that didn't show up as much. Maybe he just won it and give it, and then everyone else took it over. So all he had to do was win the ball. Right, this year it's like he's wants to dominate the ball and stuff. He's too slow at it. So there's a big hole in our midfield, and we haven't got anyone like for like with Ross. So you have to plug those gaps differently. Our fullback, the left hand side, has showed up. We weren't saying this when Baines was in the team, maybe. We weren't going, our left hand side's terrible. We weren't. And we had a bit more balance. Baines has been out for, the end of November, all of December, all of January. He's been out for 2.5 months. And that 2.5 months has coincided with our worst spell, I would say, in terms of looking like a football team. Do you know what I mean? Having balance. Okay, we got some results under Allardyce and stuff like that, but it was, like you said, there was a definite be negative, or not be negative, but be careful with what you're doing, nick the goal and all. You're not going to be able to do that all season. You're not, because you'll get pulled into different games. But there's players in this team now that by putting them in, you're not helping the team or us. And Vlasic coming in off the left on the left hand side, and he's not the quickest, and you've got a fullback that doesn't want to run past him and hasn't got a left foot. Well, that doesn't help. You know, where maybe Luckman, someone who'll get the ball and run at pace. But listen, Balassi hasn't played well for a few. You know, he was gonna be like this.
Yeah, of course
he was in for the power and a bit of pace and the ability to hold the ball. He come on Saturday and stood 2 yards away from Martina. So you're like, he was below me, and I'm thinking, why aren't you 20 yards further up the pitch? Don't let them push you back to the halfway line. Go and stand. There was one in the second half. He come and got the ball, was doing stupid foot step overs. Their fullbacks 30 yards down the line on the edge of their box trying to play a line, and he's doing tricks on the halfway line. You're like, fucking run that way.
That's another problem with Martina. You have to physically come and take the ball off his feet.
Yeah,
because he can't pass down the line.
And then all you're doing, you're cutting down spaces. I mean, I just think what Allardyce has got to do is, if you're the way we play as a team, your defenders should be in an arc when you start. That should be your starting point, right? So your 2 centre backs level and your 2 full backs should be 15 or 10 yards further up. So you're arced, And the way Everton play, you hold midfield player should then drop in, so you're almost a 3, you're a triangle of 3, and that enables your fullbacks to go on. But what we're doing at the moment is we're like this, we're in a flat line. Then we've got a midfielder almost on top of the defenders as well, and then our next midfielder's almost on top of him, and then our wingers are here. So if you look, I was watching Saturday in the first half, 10 of our players were in line with the halfway line, including the goalie, and then we had a centre forward. So what do you want him to do?
Yeah, exactly.
The whole pitch is squashed, and you're like, he's not a sprinter, Toast, and you can tell that. He's not saying he's slow. He's not slow, but he's not going to be able to spin in, and he's clean. He's not Walcott for sprinting. So we've got to come up with a way of playing that engages the whole team. No manager has been able to do it this season, and that to me is the bigger worry than anything else.
Yeah. Isn't it? It is crap. There's just so many problems, but you know, the manager's paid a hefty sum to come up with a solution, and for me he had that solution and he just threw it out the window, and I can't sort of fathom why. It baffles me. It baffles me why. It felt like to me that when he came in, the players were quite happy with things being simplified for them, and just doing their own jobs, and suddenly that's been, as I say, that just feels like it's been thrown out the window. I don't know why, but you know, obviously, you know, we were 1-0 down, and obviously the injury to James McCarthy, which is just, you know, again another horrific injury to add to the list that we've had in the last 2 or 3 years. I mean, first of all, you know, listen, the ball ends up at the feet of Rondon through our own fault again, and he's gone in there and he's made a saving tackle where he had no right to, and he's put his body on the line, and he's paid the ultimate price as a footballer for doing so, and it was just symptomatic of the day, really. Us giving the ball away in a dangerous area, leading to, you know, that kind of injury, which was just horrible.
If he plays the ball down the line like he should have done, then it averts the danger. He gives Schneiderlin not a very good ball, to be fair. He was under pressure. He's too slow, he couldn't react, and they nick it and they're in, but he then doesn't give it up, McCarthy, and he makes an amazing challenge, and then obviously the rest is that he could probably do that 99 times out of 100 and be alright, you know what I mean, just get a kick on the leg and he gets up, and you knew it was serious straight away. I mean, he waving his arm and he doesn't do that, and Rondon, you know, and all that. You know, the manager come out and was right, and it was, we're playing people in our own half, facing our goal under pressure with the ball, making our own problems, and it's resulted in us losing a lad who took best part of 8 months to get fit, and was just starting to look like his old self again. He was pressing, you know, and if you put him in and got the team a bit more balanced, he'd have only got better, you know. And the kid has had no luck for the last couple of years, you know, and Everton as a team, you know, if we didn't have bad luck, we'd have no luck at all, and that just seems to be the way it is. And it's a horrendous injury, and I'll be honest, it's one that worries me, how he'll come back from this, because it's took him a while to get back from muscular injuries, a double break of it.
It's a year, isn't it?
It's a year.
It's a year easily.
So, you know, we wish him obviously all the very best, and it's just berserk, isn't it? That the amount of tackles he's probably done in his life, and got kicked, and he's just got up and got on with it, or he's had a bruise or whatever, and that it wasn't innocuous, but it was just a block.
Yeah, there's no malice.
The lads just kicked through it, trying to have a shot, you know, and he's that strong, Rondon, and you know, just shows you players putting, you know, he's prepared to, his attitude and his commitment is prepared to dive in there, where other players might have just got back and tried to usher it, you know, or just put a bit of pressure on it. He's threw himself at the ball, and he's made an absolutely incredible challenge, but he's paid for it heavily. And
Yeah, there's a that 2-0 there, and the game's dead and buried, isn't it? Dead and buried there if he scores, like so. Yeah, sad, very sad. As you say, get so much time coming back, and his attitude's been spot on, which has been fair enough. And yeah, there you have it. As I said, if you haven't already subscribed, please do. Just gone over 22,000, which is nice.
Thank you very much.
Click the bell for alerts. And if you want more videos, like so many people have in the last week or so, join us on Patreon. We're a little bit.
The worse we do, the better. The more people.
Don't say that. Don't say that.
I want to.
We're just a bit happy. We're a bit more candid, aren't we?
Yeah. On Patreon.
And last week's show on Patreon with Dave and Keith
was
very, very candid, very, very open and honest. Because we pretend like, we just.
Oh, it was good. There was a lot of things that needed saying, wasn't it?
And we said them.
And it was said. So
there you go. Thanks for watching. I'll see you later.